Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Come on in. Yes, I know you're a little late. Come on in, you in the class. Yes, sit down. Welcome. Welcome to Got a Lot on Our Minds. My name is Stevie B. We're going to all go around the room and say a fun fact about ourselves. You know, the fun thing that the first day of school that everyone fucking hates doing. We're going to force you to make friends, okay? You're not going to make friends on your own. You're going to make friends in this class, goddammit. All right? So my name is Stevie B, and I love peanut butter. My co-host, fun fact about him, he'll tell himself.
What's going on? I am Kells, and for the people who know the actual name, these are called icebreakers. Thanks, Steve. Fun fact about myself is I'm allergic to peanut butter.
Oh, but that's Frank.
Fun fact about Frank, he also has a lot of allergies, like me.
Yeah.
So
You can hear that. That's my dog, Frank. He's on guard duty right now. Holding down the fort. That's what they're called? They're called icebreakers? I thought an icebreaker was like a stupid joke you told at a bar to get a girl to
talk to you?
laugh, get a good chuckle, and you're like, hey, I'm not a total creep. Yeah.
How much does this polar bear weigh? Enough to break the ice. Hi, I'm Steve. But no, I mean every time I've heard like those classroom things, they were always let's do icebreakers, let's go. You know, because you're just trying to break the tension and get people to know each other.
If I ever, for some reason, if I ever go back to school, which I don't think I will.
Okay.
Last time I went back with you, it wasn't even there was no plan in place to get a degree. It was just all right, shit, cool. This, I'm just going to kill time here.
That's very
you know
true.
What I mean? There was no goal for that.
I literally went in expecting to be all right, I want to take these core classes that are
bouncing.
aimed at my words aimed at my career, and then I'm gonna be out, and then I got sucked into the whole degree thing, and I was like, you know what, I want to get a degree. I want Mark to have that extra person who graduated from his program because he's killing it. So yeah.
And then you fucking spiraled that onto me, and next thing I know, I'm sitting in English 102, and I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, I'm fucking sitting in volleyball.
Yeah. I'm like, how did this happen? How did I get here? I was just an adult 4 months ago. What the fuck?
Right. Fucking playing volleyball with Talia and Nick, but that was fun.
Yeah, I had to fucking lie to Sam, our photo teacher, and say that you were my ride. Yeah. And I had no car to get to work. Or to get to school.
This is just like Boy Scouts all over again. Me fucking doing your
and we leave, and then we get into
badge.
separate cars, and we're like, all right, see you.
Some things never change, no matter how old you are.
Oh, but what I was gonna say is, if I ever go back to school, I think my icebreaker, I'm just gonna say such stupid shit. I'm go around the room and say something about yourself. I'm like, hi, I'm Steve, and I wear adult diapers.
Hi, I'm Steve, and I was summoned from the hell.
Yeah, I'm Steve. Hi, I'm Steve. I was at the Capitol riots.
Oh yeah, that's not a good one. You have the FBI at your door in 5 seconds.
Man.
You go to your car and they're already there.
Yeah, just fucking something stupid. And maybe that's the thing that we don't get. Maybe it's reverse psychology. Is the bonding moment is everybody bonds over how much they hate them, and that's how you make the friend. Is that the play there?
For some certain aspects, they work because I know I don't want to really just. I don't know, when I was in school, I was like, all right, if I know the friends in there, I'm going to talk to them. And if I don't, it's the last resort of all right, I have to talk to you, so let me get to know you. Sometimes it worked out, and sometimes I was just like, oh, this sucks.
I don't know. I hated it. Whatever. Maybe that's just me. If you've made your best friend through an icebreaker during the syllabus of your course, more power to you. Good for you.
Good for you.
You know, whatever. So, what's good with you, man? You just took a little weekend boomerang trip.
Yeah, it was a quick one. Shot up to Buffalo because Dan had me as it's basically like a PA or camera assistant. And then Rebecca was the lead actress in his film 716 that's coming out, hopefully in the near future. Definitely a dope experience. Shout out Dan, he killed it. He's director and writer.
Shout
and
out Dan
also,
Leahy, friend of the show.
yes, he's been on before. You can go back and check out that episode for sure. And yeah, he's just, I mean, Buffalo has a cool film community, so that was dope to go up there, meet some new people. I got a lot of shots of it while I wasn't helping out. I didn't want to like, put too much. I mean, I was set up as a camera assistant, but obviously they had all their crew intact and stuff, and I was just basically like, yeah, I'm an extra hand if you need, let me know. And then in downtime, I was just basically let me get some shots and take some photos and stuff. So
Get the candids and behind the scenes.
yeah, and then I mean
Document it.
that definitely helps everybody because then people can use that on their resume, be like, oh, this was the shoot I did, and then when it comes out, you can obviously tell what it looks like. But it was fun. It was definitely cool.
That's dope. Maybe we can, whenever that drops, we'll make sure to promote it on the show here. And I was just saying to you this off the air. Maybe we should book Rebecca too.
Ooh,
Try to get her as a guest on here.
for sure. She's
You know what I mean?
dope. It was definitely a fun experience.
Is she a Washingtonville alum or is she Cornwall?
No, she's Washi.
Oh, she's a Washi alum, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure somebody told me. I don't know this in passing that she lived, I think like over like Beaver Dam or something like that.
I believe so.
Hills.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
Not to
yes.
give away her fucking personal information and shit, but I was like, oh shit, she's a that's where we
Washi.
grew up. You know.
Yeah, that's our old stopping grounds. Shout
Yeah.
out T Schmel. He used to live out there.
What's funny is
The crew, Kyle.
shout all those people. Curran.
Word.
Someone I knew now they had like they're not really familiar with. I feel because I say to people all the time, like when you grew up in that area of the Hudson Valley, like because there was fucking only like a grocery store and a pizza place and a gas station in the town, you had to go to either Monroe, Middletown, or Newburgh, or out towards like Vales Gate, Chester, or Vales Gate, or you know what I mean. You had to travel outside of town so everyone knows like where to get around, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So someone from up here, like where I live now, and they're like, "Oh, I gotta go down. I gotta go to fucking Beaver Dam. I don't even know what the fuck that is." And I was like, "Oh, I do."
Yeah.
Really? And I was like, "Yeah. You know, just I can tell you 7 different ways to get in there."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh," and they were like, "Yeah, I gotta go in there." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I used to run around there all the time." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah. Well, which side are you going to?" And they're like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Well, it literally splits." I was like, "There's a Cornwall side, there's a Washingtonville side."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, no, seriously. Like one side of the street went to one school, one side of the street went to the other school. Like it's a very fucking unique situation over there." But
Then you had the alien that was in everybody was trying to find that used to live in Beaver Dam.
yep, yeah, Jesus Christ,
The rumored alien. Good times.
Oh my lord,
Good childhood.
Good childhood, great childhood. So I want to talk to you. I got something on my mind.
Okay, that's why we're here. That's why
Yeah.
we're here, B.
So I hate my job, and because I hate my job, I've been applying to other jobs.
Of course.
So I had 2 interviews this past week. And I want to like touch on the fact like it really made me like interviews kind of like make me nervous to begin with jobs because they're always I don't know. I feel like they try to like read the resume. You think I guess the interview is required to make sure you're not a fucking liar or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's like sometimes the stuff they ask you, I feel like it's just kind of so far out of left field. It's one job. Yeah, I'm gonna say it because like I'm not gonna say where I applied or all this other kind of stuff because this is a public podcast and I told them I have a podcast, so maybe they'd be able to find it. Not that I think they'd go that far, like they give a shit. Anyways,
Oh no, they will.
right?
Yeah, no, jobs are pretty. It depends on what it is, but jobs definitely will like search your Twitter, social media just to make sure like you're not posting anything too outlandish.
Right. So the one asked 2 questions, and the one was like, "What do you think about poverty?" And I was like, "What?" And they were like, "What's your views on poverty?" And I was like, "Well, it's not good. I mean, like it sucks to be broke." And they're like, "Well, do you think it's like a societal issue? Do you think that it's a systemic issue. And can I give you an honest answer? Can I have like 45 seconds to gather my thoughts? Because I had no idea you were going to ask this. Like, had I known, I would have maybe like done a little bit of research and from valid sources and not just spew things off the top of my head of maybe what my opinion is. And I've been better educated. So I was like, give me, like I think it's a combination. Like some people, they're in poverty because they make continual life choices that are poor. I said, but at the same time, some people aren't put in positions to get out of, if the generations before you made bad life decisions and now you're in poverty, you're not given the tools and the resources to make the right decisions and pull yourself out. And I mean, it's more than that, you know what I mean? But I was like, Jesus Christ, this is so fucking out of left field.
And then sometimes it's just that like spurt of the moment, like kind of like what's happening now, where there's a fucking pandemic and you just get thrown into it, and it's not like any fault of your own. It's just like you got let go, and you might have had like a certain amount of income, but not like planning for the whole world to shut down.
You maybe made fucking 50,000 a year, which isn't a little, but isn't a lot, But and then maybe let's say you are divorced and you have to pay child support. Like that shit happens, Like my father had to pay child support for fucking years.
Yeah.
So like it you have to pay things and all this other kind of stuff. And then like you said, you lost your job from the pandemic. Like I got furloughed from the radio station. We're going on a fucking year. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like maybe it's stuff like that, uncontrollable. Like so it's a there's so many
there's
so
not
many
a lot
elements.
of like jobs right now. Like it's hard to really.
Yeah. So I was just like really, really fucking taken back by that.
But I think they do that because they want to catch you off guard and they don't want you to research certain questions. They just throw you something to see like how your thought process is.
Yeah. But how do you think of poverty? Well, it sucks for those guys.
Well, yeah, that would probably be the worst answer to say. Like, I think they want something a little bit more in depth, not just like, yeah, well.
Just go full fucking tinfoil hat conspiracy. Well, you see the problem is here, right?
Yeah, right.
It's the fucking Russians.
It's those reptilians.
Yeah, it's the reptilians and the reptilian queen of England. Okay, that's where it all stems from.
It lives in the center of the earth and comes up at night.
There are bodyguards in the CIA that are fucking shapeshifters, okay? And that's the problem.
They're turning the fox gay. Fucking
Alex. Go full Alex Jones.
Yeah, just real out there, left field.
And then the second thing, well, there's three. That's part one. Part two,
okay.
Then they say, like, what's your greatest strength? And I always feel kind of uncomfortable with that. They say, what's your greatest strength? And I'm like, all right, I go like, I'm a strong, independent worker. I am self-motivated. I don't need to be pushed to do my job. I enjoy doing my work. I enjoy accomplishing goals and getting to the overall result. With that being said, I also can thrive in a team setting. I have had multiple jobs where I work independently or in a team setting, so I'm comfortable working with both, yada, yada. I'm like, fine, whatever. That's usually a decent response. That they're like, oh, okay, very good, yeah. And then they're like, what's your greatest weakness? I'm like, how should I be honest? Should I just be full like, hey, I don't have one. I'm the fucking man for the job, baby. Like, my greatest weakness is that there's no chink in this fucking armor, all right? Where I'm like, that's like, to me, I don't know, that's too arrogant. So I was like, I forget what exactly I said. But that's another question. I'm like, what am I supposed to say? Like, is it, I don't know how to dress myself. Like, what? I don't know what to say to that question. It's fucking weird.
No, I definitely think, well, from what I would gather, I would say honesty is always the best answer. And I do try to like kind of like think about myself and like look at myself in the mirror and like try to like look at my weaknesses, I guess. But like, yeah, when you're asked that question, it's kind of hard to.
You're asked to look at. Here's what's I part of me gets it, but part of me feels uncomfortable. Like I'm asked to look at my weaknesses. Like sure, but at the same time, I'm also trying to sell myself. So I'm trying to tell you the best part, the worst part of myself, while continually selling myself to you. Like I don't know.
I mean, if you're honest and you can be like, yeah, this is my weakness, but I'm willing to learn from it. Or like if you have a better way to
Right.
approach it, then I would be down to obviously work on any weaknesses I have.
Yeah.
I mean, also, what was that?
I was gonna say my weakness is that I work too hard. I can't shut it off.
Yeah, no,
You know?
that's like that. I feel like certain responses are like the typical that
Right.
they hear like 800 times a day, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't want this."
Yeah.
My weakness is I work too hard. That's not a weakness. That's just you
Right.
giving a strength in the form of like.
Well, now that I'm thinking about it, what I said to her, I was like, well, within the realm of this job, I would be ignorant to certain aspects, and I would need, if provided, I would need certain brainstorming and materials and resources if you could provide to help me educate myself better. And as far as like creating the content and mapping out the plan for creation, I said that I can handle that. I would have a game plan for it. But as far as the subject and the context of what, I would need to be offered some resources and maybe a little bit of help to get me up to speed. That's how I kind of answered that. I phrased it maybe a little bit different, but
No, I think that's an honest response.
I got called back for a second interview. I don't think I'm taking it,
Heyo.
but
No.
I guess that was all right.
Okay, yeah.
And here's the third one. Here's the really, really fucking weird one.
Okay.
I shouldn't say fucking weird because they were really nice. So I take that back. But I had the second one. Basically, they were like, "Hey, your background is good." Like all the answers were like, this was a less stressful interview. And she's like, "Well, what would you would have to?" It was for working on like a podcast. She was like, "You would have to create the podcast, and you'd have to be here." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's all fine. Like that's literally, hey, yeah, that's what I do, baby.
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
it's what I do. Like, let's do it." And the one request is, you would have to be vegan. You would have to change to a vegan lifestyle.
Ooh.
Now, I'm not going to, because I don't want to put them on blast, because like I said, the girl I spoke with was really nice and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm actually going to shoot her email back and discuss it further.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's a privately owned company, so you can request what you want to request. You know what I mean? And that was just a little bit taken back by that. I was like, wow, okay. That's a hard. Maybe for some people it's not, but for me, as a person who's, I enjoy my food. You know what I mean? And I consume way too much of it.
Yes. It's a hard sell.
Yeah, and I was like, man, like I wish I could just flip the switch. Like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna eat tofu. I'm gonna drink this and eat that, and I'll switch it up. You know what I mean? But that's maybe that's my weakness there.
But if you do, I mean, consider it. What I will say is I've had some pretty awesome vegan dishes. Obviously you're gonna miss, that burger, bacon, and stuff. And obviously it's like a healthier lifestyle, and it is definitely a change. But I mean, that's like a full, like 360 and like, or 180, I should say.
I was talking with Jess, and she's like, "Tell them that you like the Impossible Whopper. See if that's good enough."
Yeah, right.
And
I can
was
eat
like,
it
"I
every
don't think so."
Friday.
And I was like, "Do you think it's worse that if I say that, like, yeah, sure, like I'll lie about it, and then like while I'm on the property,
You just fucking bring a big ass burger, and you're
well,
like,
I was like, listen, I'll just bring like a fucking jar of peanuts and a couple water bottles, and while I'm on the clock, like I'll be good. You know what I mean? I'll make sure I eat before I go and eat when I get home. I'll make sure that I don't." I was like, but like, what if I leave there and somebody catches me at like a
Taco Bell.
restaurant, yeah, or like woofing down a taco or something, and I'm like, that looks so much more worse now, right? Now I've lied about it instead of being upfront, and I feel wrong about doing that.
Just to treat it like AA, and you just have like a 30-day chip, and you're like, oh, here's my chip back. I'm sorry, it's my first day back.
And she's like, yeah, that's totally worse. And I was like, oh man. But like I said, they were super cool. They were like, listen, we know this is not the ordinary thing that you get in a job request. And I was like, no, like the fact that you're cool about it, I'm cool about it. Like I get it.
Yeah, there's gonna be that person who obviously is already vegan, who would probably obviously not have to change their whole lifestyle for it.
Yeah. I'm like, man, that changes It changes my diet. That changes. I have to learn how to cook vegan dishes now.
Yep.
Not that it's like you're like cooking stuff from outer space, but like if me like I don't want like I want my tofu to taste like chicken, so I got to figure out how to, or you know what I mean? Like I know tofu dishes, like there's a sweet science behind it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I've had General Chow's chicken, but not the chicken. It was cauliflower, and it tasted
Right.
just like it. But
Really?
yeah, you're gonna have to do a lot of research if you were to take that and figure out how flavors work together.
Right. So now
I
like we try to cook at home a lot, so that's my groceries. So now if I can't cook the food, I'm ordering out all the time. That's a whole lot more expensive, you know? So
I mean, I do know some people who are vegan. If you ever need that, if you do take this plunge,
right.
I'll shoot you their information, and you can
And
pick their brains.
and then now my wife is not vegan, and I'm not going to make her do it. So that's we still have to buy the regular groceries for what she eats, you know,
Now
like
that's 2 meals.
right, you know, so oh man. That was just I don't know, it's just like I feel like if I was ever put in a position to do job interviews, like I don't know if I would try to stick to that formula, or if me being the child that I am when I do things, like I would ask a stupid question um like ask something stupid like did Doctor Strange, so like final question, you're like, did Doctor Strange know that Tony Stark would die in the one possibility they win? And they're like, wait, what? I'm like, well, this is vital for the job. Do you, do you
You
think
need
that
to
he
know.
knew that? You know? And they were like, yeah. I'm like, no, he didn't. All right, thank you. Interview's concluded. We'll be in contact with you.
We'll be in contact.
This kind of fuck out of here. It's like the dictator where they're like, he does the thing where he does this, and they just fucking kill him.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, that's
man.
honestly like, I think it's just that I haven't been on a job interview in so long, so I don't even know what like questions they'd ask. So I haven't had that problem in a while, but I think like back when I was like sending out resumes and shit, I just never heard back. And that's like a problem that I always felt like was, at least just send me like a, hey,
Right. Yeah.
we're not considering you for this job. But it was just like the not knowing that I was like, all right, this is cool. Guess I didn't get these jobs.
I'm getting some of those emails like the, hey, we've moved forward with a different candidate now, from like December.
Yeah.
So it's been 2 months and now I'm getting this email back and I'm like, geez Louise. I also, quick rant here, I can't fucking stand that I submit my resume and then I have to re-fucking type my resume.
Yeah. That was always a problem.
What
too.
is
That
the
pissed me off.
fucking point?
Yeah.
To see that the person will take the time to do it and to weed out everybody else? I fucking hate that shit. I'm busy. It's annoying.
Work smarter, not harder. If I'm sending you this piece of paper, why am I also typing it back up?
Yeah. Just going to submit a blank document and
Right.
type my resume in.
Just type in, you already have this. Thank you.
Yeah.
To whom it may concern.
I know I'm not the only one with that fucking rant.
No,
thing.
I've seen that on Twitter. Somebody posted that actually pretty recently.
I don't know. I think it's so annoying.
No, every time that popped up, I was just like, there's like been a couple of jobs that I didn't move forward with because of that. I was like, fuck that.
Yeah, no, not doing it. I don't care. I don't want to work for you that bad. I don't. It's so dumb.
Any and all consideration I had for this job is now out the window.
Nope, now you've annoyed me to the fucking point where I'm quitting before I'm even hired.
Yep.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
Just send an email. I'm sending in my 2 weeks. They're like, what? Who is this? They're not even hired here.
I'd like all my PTO sent to a check to me, please. Please and thank you. Okay. I mean,
and actually, just to bring back your point, the point of what you made in the beginning, I mean, I think it's pretty nerve-wracking for anybody because, like, you're trying to get a career, money dictates what you can do in life. So it's like this, you're trying to get what you want to, trying to get where you want to go. So it's like you hold the balance of my life almost in your hands.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, some people like are obviously like they're overqualified, so you get them and they're like they have years of experience and they're you know
Some
and
people are
it's an easy
natural.
hire. You know
Some
what I
people are
mean?
natural interviewees, and they're just
Yeah.
good with that setting. And some people aren't.
Part of my problem is that I don't like one. I don't like lying, and two, I don't like BSing. Like I don't like giving you the if you would say like the politically correct and the I mean being politically correct is fine. Like obviously not like using slander and curses and stuff, but like what's your greatest weakness? And it's like I don't know. I consume more Taco Bell in the week than I should. Like maybe my greatest weakness is I don't know what my greatest weakness is. I'm
I'm
not
a
aware of
glutton.
it. Yeah.
My greatest weakness is I curse too much.
Yeah. My greatest weakness is I don't want to go through with the application if you already have my resume in the first part.
Yeah.
That's my greatest weakness.
Don't want to double type this shit.
Jesus.
I already typed it up to make it look nice, and now you put it in this format that is going to make it look like shit.
Right. So, whatever.
There's our rant. That's
There's
what's
our
on your
rant.
mind.
That's what's on my mind. That and the that shit with Lady Gaga's dogs.
So you're going to have
See
to
or
fill
hear
me in
about
because I haven't really even paid attention to that. I think just I've been doing other stuff, so
So
I've heard about it in passing.
with the research that I've done, and if you're a fan of the show, you know that I've done none of it.
Okay.
Apparently, through the grapevine, I heard because I had my ear to the streets, so I found this stuff out.
So you're looking at Twitter. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Apparently, her dogs were kidnapped. I guess I don't know if it's 2 or 3 of her dogs, but she has French bulldogs that were dog napped,
Okay.
and she has a professional dog walker that was shot, and then the dogs were taken.
Yeah.
And somewhere somebody told me that the dog napper was shot 6 times.
Damn.
So they lit this guy up. Or a girl. I don't know if it's a guy or girl. I apologize. So they lit this person up, took the dogs. Apparently the dog walker is going to be okay. Obviously they went to the hospital, but I guess they're not going to die. Excuse me. And the dogs were kidnapped, and Lady Gaga is not home. So wherever she lives, she wasn't home for it. She's on the set of a movie filming. So it's not even like she could like kind of like go home, figure out what's going on. She made like a statement like whoever, no questions asked. Listen, I don't care that you took them. Just $500,000. We'll figure it out. It'll get wired to you. I just want my dogs back. And apparently she got the dogs, and I don't know if the person got the money, but apparently it was like, listen, I'll set up an email. We will not go public with this. I will delete the email. You will like. It was like really like, listen, I just want dogs. Take the money. I don't care what your reason was. Maybe you didn't know they were mine. That you were just trying to kidnap French bulldogs. And then I'm like, did this person know that these were Lady Gaga's dogs, or he's just like, nah, I know I can sell French bulldogs on the low if that's a racketeering thing. And so he took them. But like, who are you shooting? You're shooting a dog walker to take dogs. Like, how do you get to that point in your life?
So from the research that I just did,
Okay, you're on Twitter.
apparently 2 out of the 3 were taken. It was in obviously Hollywood. I don't think the person was shot 6 times.
Okay, right. That could be incorrect.
It says 1 time.
Wow, that's a big difference.
That's a big difference. And
All
then
right, so they did not light this person up.
The 2 suspects were between 20 and 25 is what I'm seeing. And then, the dog walker was in stable condition. And yes, like you said, the dogs have been returned. And I don't know about any of the reward. Oh, wait, it says dogs. This is TMZ, so it's legit. They've never lied. And
bro,
once in their life.
TMZ doesn't have an agenda. They just
Nope.
push fucking facts, baby.
Dogs found tied to pole and alley. Find her to get $500K reward. Damn. That's a nice day. Nice day's work.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they knew in advance who they were dog napping or if it just happened to be a coincidence. But that's pretty wild.
I just want to know how you get to that point in your life where you're willing to shoot someone to steal two dogs, and who's the other person that would like? Why are you stealing these dogs? You're just stealing them because you want to have them? Probably not. Obviously, French bulldogs go for sometimes thousands of dollars. You're probably looking to sell them. So like, who's the person that's buying these potentially, or three? Like, these are Lady Gaga's possibly. So you're trying to fucking have a dog hostage situation and get money from Lady Gaga. Like, I'm just trying to like really like play through like what the fucking thought process is here.
I don't know if there is any. I really don't.
I don't know. I just thought it was kind of wild. I was talking with Jess about it, and we both had the same thing that like if you were to ever steal my dog, if you were to even hurt my dog, I'd fucking dump you in the bottom of the Hudson.
For promotional purposes and sponsorship, this was just this was a gross misrepresentation of what Steve will actually do. So back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Nobody was hurt in the making of this podcast.
Because Steve's dog is safe at home.
Yeah, he's safe right here. He's having a nap.
Frank, bark twice if you're in Milwaukee.
You know I don't speak Spanish, Frank. Oh, Lord.
I think the other thing besides those topics that we wanted to talk about was the feeling of exhilaration in the sports world in our Knicks. It's such a weird feeling knowing that we're tied for fourth place. It's last night watching it, I was just so impressed. I was so happy because in the second quarter, all right,
We were down by like
we're
13
down by
at one point.
16.
Oh, was that how far it went?
It was 16, and I was just as I'm watching, and I was doing a little bit of editing, like I was editing some photos, and I'm just like, all right, there's like 8 minutes left, like just get it to like single digits by half, right? That's a good thing. You go in the next half, then you start working on the lead or breaking down the lead, and just go from there, a little bit at a time. And then I'm looking, all right, it's like 14, 12, 9, the fuck? 7,
Yeah.
3.
Yep.
Then Derrick Rose hits a 3 at the end of the half. We're up by 2. Fucking shouted at my TV. I was so pumped. But yeah, man, from what I've seen of this year, there's like no quit in them. They're just pedal to the metal. They've got a good young core. Quickly has just been looking phenomenal, shooting those threes. He's getting 4-point plays. It's like it's crazy, man.
Julius Randle has played outstanding.
Oh yeah, all-star caliber. He has just really been from last year to this year. He's just improved his game, and you can just tell. Like,
well, if you follow him, like, because when the Lakers drafted him and when LeBron was going over to the Lakers, they had Julius Randle, Brandon Ingram, Kuzma, Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
I think Josh Hart. Like, that was kind of like their young players that they had accumulated and drafted.
Yeah.
And I think the first one they traded was Julius Randle.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly, I could be wrong there. Either way, but when they traded him, I was like, I feel like that's the one guy I would want to hang on to.
Yeah.
And like Brandon Ingram, he's turned out to be a really good player too. So
I think the worst out of all of them was Kuzma, and he's still on the Lakers.
And he's still on the Lakers, yeah. And I'm just like, man, like I feel like that's the one guy that I would try to like hang on to. But then he got better when he left the Lakers, and then he got better, not like crazy, but he was doing better statistically wise every year. And then he, like, this past jump last season, this season, he is just, man, like
He's put the team on his back just to really like, solidify himself.
Now, his contract is up after this year, so obviously he's looking for a payday. Which I hope. I mean, like if he if he stays playing like this, and you know, obviously, I don't think we're pulling in the Giannis's, the superstars to the Knicks. At least we weren't before.
No,
Like,
well, the problem is like this class that was supposed to be at the end of this year. A lot of them have already solidified like deals,
yeah, they
like
signed
a
their,
little bit long term deals. You know, like I think
yeah,
Lillard, McCollum, Giannis,
yeah,
all these people that it was looking like it was going to be a great uh, free agency class, but now it's just like they're already tied down.
Yeah.
So you have to like trade for them now, and that's like one thing I hope that trade deadline comes and goes, because I don't want them really messing up any of the chemistry they've built, by trading anybody away. Even though you want to kind of win now, like they're doing well, and I think that would be smarter to see where you can go with this.
Well, I mean, you talked about messing up the chemistry, and I believe we talked on the podcast when they traded for Derrick Rose, and and we were like, hey, listen, I love Derrick Rose, I love the trade if they work with him the right way, and they have. Thibs has done it perfectly,
they traded somebody who really wasn't in the rotation, so that worked out well.
Yeah, and
And honestly, we fucking lost Mitchell Robinson to his hand injury, the fractured hand, and we're still showing up. So it's just good to see. I know last night Taj Gibson sprained his ankle, I think it was. So
did he?
So we'll see how that translates now, having like two big men and on a back-to-back tonight, knowing that I think Nerlens played like 40 minutes, and I think Rose played like 38 minutes. So there's going to be some tired players. So I'm interested to see what fight we put up tonight against Detroit.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is after the win last night, it was a good win, like a down to the wire win. And I saw this video on Twitter on like 2 a.m. when I'm laying in bed, and I retweeted it. And it's just people outside of the Garden, not like a mob of people, but just like Knicks fans. And like they know that we're tied for fourth in the East, and they're just like celebrating. And I'm like, they were like, if the Knicks ever win a championship, and I feel like when the Yankees win the championship, when the Giants win the championship, those are kind of like, they're not that the Knicks really aren't, but like they're classy organizations. Like the fans are blue collar, hardworking, good people that just want to go down there and like celebrate, and like it's, good stuff. With the Knicks win, all the fucking goons are going to come out of the woodwork, us being included in that term, goons. Like everyone that has just been waiting for this is going to go down there. If there was ever a championship ever and there was a parade, it would be insane. Like you would have to just cancel everything in New York City, cancel everything, because everybody's going crazy.
That's Knicks and Jets will be insane.
Oh man,
I hope we see it in our lifetime.
Like if I'm 97, and
I'm going.
like, if I'm in like this bubble that they say, hey, listen, the way technology's advanced, you have your own little ecosystem in your bubble. If you don't leave, you can live for another 50 years. You'll be healthy. You'll be okay. But if you leave, you expose yourself to certain things that may, you're 97. You're not as well, and you may die. And be like, open the bubble, baby. I'm going to fucking party.
I'm going to fucking rage.
If I die, I die. This is it. This is the hill I go out on.
Yep. It's been just watching them fight, man. And like realizing that like no lead is really safe from another team, which is the thing that's like very, very invigorating, because you're like, all right, it passed, especially like last season when we had like 20 wins. If a team built a big lead, you're like, this lead is only going to get bigger.
Yeah.
Like 15 points then turns to like 30, and you're like, well,
yeah, no, that's it. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, too. I was talking with my coworker last night, and he's like, they're down 13 already? Like, geez. I'm like, it's a game of runs, Danny. No. This team, I've been trying to watch it. They go on runs. I was like, give it time. And then it was going through the second quarter where they brought it down, and I'd go up to him like, 5-point game, 3-point game. I was like, just so you know, we're going to the half. Knicks lead by 2. And he's like, really? I'm like, told you, game of runs. It's a different team. Not saying it's a championship team, but it's a different team.
Yeah, Indiana just got sloppy in that second quarter. Like they were throwing, like Randall had like two steals like in a row. Oh, it was beautiful to watch.
And I think the guy who hit the shot to win it, or not to win it, to for the Pacers at the end there, he like banked the three in from the top.
Sabonis.
Sabonis. I think that was a lucky shot.
No, yeah, he wasn't going for a bank.
I was gonna say you weren't shooting a bank 3-pointer dead on bank shot. Like you over shot,
Yeah,
and the backboard saved you.
yeah. Literally, another thing too is like Randall had a fire lit under his ass because everybody was saying Sabonis should have been the All-Star ahead of him. You know, he ended up being an All-Star because Kevin Durant was injured, but everyone was making that like oh,
Those
he should have,
comments.
yeah, he should have been over you, and then Randall goes out and outplays him. So
Yeah.
plus he gave him a couple elbows to the face. He's like, yeah, this is my house.
Protect the garden, baby.
Yeah, by any means necessary.
Yeah. I don't know. We were talking at work of whether they should look into signing Boogie Cousins. But again, do you want to mess up the chemistry? Who would you have to drop to get Boogie?
I wouldn't mind if you're signing somebody, you know, because he was waived, so that's
Yeah.
fine with me. But like trading for somebody is tough. And right now we do need big men.
Well, that was the thing is like Mitchell Robinson. I didn't know Taj Gibson got hurt. So
It was
Mitchell's hurt. Like, you know, if you play Nerlens at the 5, you can play Boogie at the 4 because Boogie can play outside. He can shoot threes. He can dribble.
I'm just watching now. There's no legit center anymore where you know every center basically shoots threes now. Like Sabonis
Yeah.
is shooting threes. This other guy on their team, I forget his name. I was like, that guy definitely doesn't shoot threes because he looks so tall. And then he pops out of the three and he's shooting it. And then Miles Turner shoots threes now.
Does he?
Yeah, he shot like
How did-
5, 6 of them last night. And
That's
of
like
course,
Giannis. Giannis shoots threes now too.
of course, in like the end of the like he was like 0 for 5, and then like in the big crunch time he swishes a 3 home. I was like, you the fuck.
Of course.
It's like
Yeah.
3 minutes left and he swishes one or something like that. Some stupid shit.
Well, that's like they'll do a high pick and roll, and Julius Randle gets the ball at the top of the key, and like he's like shaking and baking, and I'm like, this is so different from the basketball that we were taught and that we grew up on.
Yeah.
Like that is not what you were supposed to be. I mean, he does it. He's good, so I'm not mad at it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just like it's just. Sometimes you're like, wow, the game has changed.
He's got a nice fadeaway too. Like it just I don't know
Yeah.
how long he's developed it, but it's beautiful.
So he might be the next jersey I get. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
Right? I would definitely want to look into see like what cool jerseys we have.
So, but
Which-
also too, sorry not to cut you off.
No, go on.
There's always this stigma that like the New York media and the New York fans are so hard and it's so tough to play in New York because everyone is so ruthless. No, we're not. Everyone is excited. Everyone is pumped.
We're only ruthless when we're losing without like effort. Like if we
Right.
know that you're putting your all out there and you lose, we're fine with that. But if you're like, you know, lollygagging, not taking advantage of it, you know, always missing free throws, that's when you hear the boos. That's when you're, you know,
Like, let's say we would have lost last night and they were down, like you said, 16. They come back and let's say we lose by 1 or 2. I just would have been like, the reaction would have been like, oh, I mean, that sucks. That was a close game. It would have been like, these guys, they fucking suck, bro. They quit. No, because you saw what they fought back and it was a game till the end. Sometimes you lose, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. If you're
not
down
everyone is
15 and then by quarter 3 you're down 30, that's when you're hearing boos.
Yeah, exactly. You know
And
what I
you
mean? Like,
see like the team's not really, you know, they're not running back on defense. They're not playing defense very well.
yeah.
That's when we fucking lose our patience and we're like, nah, you're going to hear from us.
But when you're out there and you're giving the effort and you're playing and you're competing, the fans love you. The New York fans will love you, especially for this team,
Yeah.
for this specific team.
And yeah, I mean, we can't say that we don't have any all-stars anymore because now obviously we do. But, you know,
Right.
last year we didn't really. So,
Are they doing the dunk contest?
yeah. So Obi's in it.
I was going to say Obi Toppin should be in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What they're doing, I think they're doing it at like halftime.
Of the All-Star game.
I believe so.
Right. They're doing it all like in one night instead
Yeah.
of like
It's
the
like
3 nights
3-point
of.
before and like some like I forget exactly.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
they don't want to extend this All-Star weekend longer than it has to be.
Yeah, because people are already pissed off about it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it's good that they're donating. I mean, I understand from the business aspect why they're doing it, because I think it always draws the dunk contest, the 3-point, as much as we sometimes critique them and say, like, they're not what they used to be, people still tune in.
Mm-hmm.
The All-Star game, people still tune in.
Yeah.
And, like, from the business aspect, I'm not saying this is the correct, morally correct thing. I'm just saying they, whether it's on TNT or whoever hosts it, TNT's like, yo, like we budget in the commercials that we sell for those shows. Like, you have to have them. That's part of our profit. That's part of our deal, you know? And you know, you can have all these other games going on, but one of the ones that makes us the most money, now you want to cancel? You know what I mean? I think that's behind closed doors. That could be it. Again, I'm not saying that's the morally correct thing. I think the morally correct thing is, you know, if COVID is concerned, you cancel the games. You don't play them. But,
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree. I mean, it's if like everybody on the, or if like people start getting COVID near it, I think they'll reevaluate it. But it's kind of like, what do you do? I mean, you're trying to make the best decision for your business and also for the players, and there's always going to be speculation on, like, are you aiming more for the business? Are you actually caring about our player safety? You know,
Right.
There's always going to be those people who, you know, will question you, but I think it's definitely better to be one day than, you know, a weekend. Just do what you need to do, get it done, and then, you know, go your respective ways.
For some guys, I mean, like for Julius Randle, like, I'm sure it's like exciting. Like, he gets to go to the All-Star game. It's his should be his first selection, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, like, for those guys, it's cool. But for the other guys, some of them maybe, like, you know, I said, like, LeBron wants to cancel the game. Like, his mindset is probably like, I mean, honestly, cancel. I'd rather not go to another city and quarantine and have to do all the restrictions. I'd rather just spend the time home with my family.
And also, like, I just came off the bubble. I got like a month or two of rest.
Yeah.
And I went right back into it.
Where I saw Dame Lillard gave I feel like a level-headed response. Like, if they want to have the game, we'll go, we'll play it. He goes, honestly, I don't want to. No, we don't want to do it, but I understand why the league says that we're doing it. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. And then you got guys like Carl. I don't know if he's an all-star or not, but Karl Anthony Towns, where he's just, the last year of his life has been fucking tragic due to this disease, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
What notes are you riding? What do you got going on over there?
Okay, so I just thought about it to kind of shy away from sports for the last, like, I guess, whatever time we have left.
Segment.
I don't know if you have watched these shows, but during the free time that I've had, I've decided to watch a couple shows. Like probably most of the world, I watched Bridgerton, Queen's Gambit, and I also stumbled upon this show In the Dark. And honestly, these three shows are pretty dope.
I think Jess has watched Queen's Gambit, and I know it's been talked about a lot on the internet. It's a big, that show's hyped up a lot. I haven't seen any of them, though.
Okay, well, then I'll just kind of like give them as suggestions for people so I don't like give away too much info. But obviously, Queen's Gambit is about chess, and any show that can make something that's a little bit boring for certain people pretty interesting is cool. Obviously, there's a lot of strategy behind chess when you actually get down to the nitty gritty about it. You know, when you're not just playing with people because you're forced to, and you're just like, all right, let me move this here. You know, there's a lot of strategy behind it.
Yeah, chess is very strategic. What do I have to give up to win type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Think 2 moves ahead, anticipation.
So then she definitely would love that show, obviously, when she watched it. Bridgerton is about, like, you know, a family in, I believe it's London.
London. It's London on the truck.
And it's just about like, you know, this family who's like kind of upper class, and the daughters are kind of like, or the daughter is looking to find a suitor, you know, somebody who will marry her. And then her
Okay.
brothers, you know, are kind of like different ages. And then yeah, she does have a sister. Um and it's just like, you know, about like how that structure works of like, you know, they have like balls to find like a suitor to
Right, yeah.
marry into the family.
Yeah.
And obviously whatever time it's based in is a little bit more, you know, suited for the male. You know, he goes and gets a pick of the litter kind of thing, depending on your class as well.
Right, your status. And
You know, yeah, and all that. But it's got a like a, I don't want to say like a Katniss Everdeen feel, but kind of like a, you know, she's like a little bit rebellious. So you know, not going the traditional norms of the society that it was. So she kind of wanted to marry more for love, but you know, back in those times, you know, you don't really have that option as a woman.
You marry what's better for the future of the family.
Exactly.
That's what you do.
Exactly. And then a lot of like things like men are giving away their daughter by like, you know, oh, this will give us territory, or this will, you know, they already have like these arrangements in place.
Yep, I get part of your kingdom, or, you know, yada yada, all that kind of stuff.
My princess will marry your prince, so then we will unite the two kingdoms.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the last show is called In the Dark because the main character is blind. And
okay.
if you watch it, it's almost, it gives me like a Daredevil meets it's like almost like a detective show.
Is there like action, like fight scenes and stuff?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff in it.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, it's got drug dealing involved, cop work, but it's I think the lead. I have to find her name real quick because she does a phenomenal job. I feel like she's just as good as Charlie Cox in how she portrays being blind. Let me see real quick. And it's on the CW, so obviously there's certain limitations as they have. It's not like a Netflix like rated R kind of show. Perry Matfield.
Terry Matfield.
Perry Matfield. So she she did a phenomenal job. And I think they have two seasons on Netflix right now, and then the third season, from what I've read, is coming out in 2021. But it's I think you'd definitely like it. You'd find it interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll gotta check it out. I gotta finish. We were watching WandaVision, obviously, like everyone else in America.
Yes.
Which it's Sunday when we're recording this. I haven't seen Friday's episode yet, so I gotta watch that probably tonight.
Should definitely watch it and then text me about your.
Are you caught up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then we were watching a show called Letterkenny on Hulu.
Yes, you've definitely mentioned that, and you have told me to watch it.
Yeah, I think it was hysterical. We finished all the seasons of that, so now we need something to dive into. So we're definitely looking for another show. My coworker told me, she's like, get into Eastbound and Down, which I've seen clips of, but I've never actually like watched a full season.
Oh yeah, if you're looking for more comedy, a comedy route, definitely Eastbound and Down is good. It's a good show.
But I don't know, Queen's Gambit, everyone says really, really good.
It is.
Might have to hop on the train. The trend.
I would definitely recommend all three of them if you have some time to spare. I know you're a busy man.
I'm a lazy man.
Well, I mean, you balance your time between watching shows for a couple seasons and then playing video games, so I understand it, besides work.
You gotta check out the new zombie map. It's dope.
I think we already have that planned. We're gonna play a little bit of it.
We're gonna live stream the podcast while we're playing Call of Duty.
Honestly, I was even thinking about that. I was like, maybe I should throw this on Twitch today. Next time. Next time I'll be like, Twitch it up. I get all dolled up. Maybe get a haircut so I don't look like a fucking.
I'm going the opposite route. I'm gonna look like a degenerate.
Yeah. Okay.
I might even smoke. I'm just kidding.
It's got the cigarette in one
I'll
hand.
be like Nick Parodies and just fucking slamming a bottle of wine while I'm doing a podcast.
Fucking such a great concept.
He's an animal.
He's
Shout out him.
Great man.
I think he's hysterical. But for those of you, if you're still here listening, thank you. We were just on we're on children's programming. We're on their latest episode. Shout out them, Matt Dixon and Nick Parodies. But as we're filming it, Nick Parodies is drinking this massive brown bag with obviously a bottle in it, and he's just slamming it to the face. And it's like it took us, I feel like, 30 to 40 minutes into the podcast for someone to finally be like, Nick, what are you drinking?
I think Dixon was like, "What wine are you drinking?"
He's like, "Oh, you bottle of wine."
And I was just like, "I'm glad that was not like liquor, because if you're doing what he was doing, I would have just stood up and clapped, because he was slamming it like you said,
just ripping it."
And shout out Dixon, because we've been texting back and forth. He just got a Mac as well as the same one that I got, so I'm happy for him. I'm glad that he can pursue things on that, because I've really loved this new M1 chip. I feel like it's fast, and it's a sleek design. It's a lot smaller than my other laptop. And then the functionality of having an Apple phone to an Apple MacBook.
It's that ecosystem.
And, yeah, just the AirDrop.
AirDrop. Yeah.
Just it's a lot easier for me to send photos to myself when I'm just, throwing it in AirDrop and to myself, than putting it on Google Drive and then downloading it. That's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
Then I'm gonna be getting an iPad soon. I'm gonna use that for Procreate. I got it all planned out. I'll just have all Mac.
Yeah, I want to get one. I mean, I have a Mac. I have an iMac, but I want to get a laptop because there's plenty of times where like we'll record the show on a Sunday, and I'll go into work on a Monday, and there's like a good hour sometimes where I'm sitting around doing nothing. I'm like putzing on my phone, where I'm like, if I had a laptop, I could be editing the show right now, and I could be being more productive.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like, this is a easy thing to like just kind of close and hide, because it's so small right now. This is a 13
You have an
inch.
Air, right?
No, I have the MacBook Pro, but they have a 13 inch and a 15 inch. But right now, the 15 inch doesn't have the chip, the new chip, the Apple chip.
Oh,
it's just the 13 inches, yeah.
Oh.
So they started with that, and then probably next year's model they'll upgrade to more RAM, or they'll maybe have the 15 inch. But like, I mean, obviously you have to edit in a smaller space when I'm looking at like Premiere and stuff.
Right.
But I like just like almost manhandling this thing. Like I'll walk down the stairs and I have it like holding it up because it's so light. But
oh man,
it's just it took like maybe a couple days to adjust, and it's pretty easy. And I
feel like
the one thing I like too is everything is centered, whereas the PC version, the Asus that I had, the trackpad was a little bit off center to the left.
Yeah, I never liked that either.
I hated it, because I would always I went from the Mac to this to that, and I'm so used to where the like right click is and everything, and I'm doing it, and I'm doing the wrong, like I'm trying to hit the left click and I'm doing the right click, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Now going back to this, I like already adjusted. Like it took me like years to adjust to that, and I still didn't really adjust to it. But now this is back. I'm back, baby.
He's back to the evil empire.
Evil empire all the way. Never leaving again.
I feel like our 2008 MacBook Pros, I could like, someone was trying to rob my house. That's like, I'd hit them with my MacBook Pro, and I feel like it would be okay. Like,
you'd still be able to edit on it.
Yeah.
It's like the Nokia phones that you drop it and you crack the earth.
Yeah. Fucking just cracks the tile in your bathroom.
Yeah.
You drop your Nokia.
Things were built differently back then.
I had one of those. I had one of those in 8th grade.
I know.
like on one of those Nokia track phones.
I know.
I could do two things. I could make calls, and I think I had like 4 numbers in it. It was like my mom, my dad, my house, and you. And I could play Snake.
Yep.
That was it.
Now you have Call of Duty on your phone. God bless you.
Yeah, that's wild. All right. Anything else you got on your mind? Any more topics for today, for episode 21?
Episode 21. That's a good number. I don't think so, actually. I think that should be it. God
Woo.
bless you. What is wrong with you?
Oh, man, having an exorcism over here.
Seriously.
Good Lord.
You should get that checked out.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
You're going to hurt somebody.
I'm going to throw my back out.
Yeah, that came for your toes.
Yeah. So, thank you all for tuning in.
Yeah, it's about that time. I got to go eat.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to eat something too. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate all your support. The guest on our next episode will be to be determined.
Put some suggestions in if you got this far. Tag who you want to see on the next episode.
Yeah. Except Matt Dixon. Don't tag him.
No. He's a bastard with no manners. And on that note.
And on that note, peace and grace all.
Peace.